All right, the president has been slamming the NBC chairman over the Harvey Weinstein coverage, saying it's not fair, not balanced, and, well, just vicious. To Charlie Gasparino, following all the developments.
I think this is something that Comcast has to worry about for a couple of reasons. I've done some reporting on this. We should point out that Trump did attack him today. He mentioned it sort of obliquely, right? Licenses, question mark.
He wasn't very oblique.
Well, he didn't say I'm going after their license. As you know, telecommunication firms are highly regulated. Comcast bought NBCU 5 years ago. There was a bunch of terms and conditions established that ran out, I believe, over the weekend. But here is the problem that I think Comcast has, is that it's not just the president that is skeptical of, doesn't like them, and skeptical of their business model, vertically integrated, combining distribution, massive distribution with programming. It is the staff of the DOJ antitrust division, which is very skeptical of this business model. It's why they went after AT&T and CNN. And Trump has called this business model and NBC and Comcast public enemy number one to people.
And the Weinstein story generated this because the charges are that NBC, nixed the story, spiked it, and didn't do it.
But he just hates them as a business. He just thinks that they're so politically biased against them that they'll never give him a break. The problem that they have is that there is a real underbelly inside the Justice Department that agrees that their business model is problematic. And what I've been talking to people that communicate with antitrust division a lot, these staffers, believe it or not, have no problem bringing a civil case against Comcast if they think they can put it together, some sort of a civil investigation into Comcast and its antitrust behavior. They really think that they violated a lot of the terms and conditions over the merger that Judge Leon put in place 5 years ago. They think that this is a problematic company, and here's where it will get interesting, and we'll know. I guess it could happen any time. It may never happen, but there's something known as a CID. It's called a civil investigative demand. That's what the Justice Department Antitrust Division does. It sends out, and when it launches an investigation. And when I talk to people that deal with the staff, they say, don't be surprised over the next 6 months that if you see something coming out of the Justice Department that holds Comcast's feet to the fire, launching some sort of investigation about their pay TV model, whether they extract extra fees out of other distributors to get their NBC programming, whether they're a monopoly, whatever. This is a real possibility that they could be facing. And so it's interesting. Trump hates them, right? He hates the company. He hates Andy Lack, thinks they're unfair. But their real problem, I think, is in the staff. The staff, which are a lot of them are holdovers from Obama administration, really does not like that business model. Now, you say, why did the Obama administration allow NBC and Comcast why did they not challenge the merger instead of opposing the conditions? I can't tell you that. I think that was a decision done by the guy who ran the antitrust division at the time. It was, you have to remember that Comcast and NBCU have been very good to President Obama back in the day. They're very pro-Obama network. So they thought they'd give them a break, allow the merger to go through conditions. But I will tell you that the staffers in the antitrust division never liked that merger. If it was up to them, they would have challenged it.
But they might have bigger fish to fry and worry about here, right? I mean, these accusations are coming out about widespread back-turning on a lot of women who had issues with harassment and elsewhere. This could be far bigger and more widespread than earlier thought. And I'm just wondering whether that is something Comcast as a parent company has to worry about now, and whether it could lead to, letting of top executives and the like.
Yes, but here is where it gets really interesting. If you have that type of bad publicity, that this is a company that withheld news, it doesn't help. It gives the DOJ some sort of cover, the Trump DOJ, from bringing one of these civil investigative demands, essentially investigations against the company on other grounds. They're too powerful. They can withhold news. They can control the agenda. Now, I'm not saying I agree with all that, but I'm telling you that could be...
But this provides the cover to do that.
And I'm just saying that...
Are you hearing that this is amounting to much beyond, these investigations?
The stuff about Ronan Farrow?
Yeah.
Not yet. Ronan Farrow has statements out today. What I did look at today was this whole notion about the licenses. It just caught my eye, obviously. And,
because he claimed that NBC spiked the story, didn't want anything to do with it.
Right. But think about where the Justice Department has power over NBC. It's in the antitrust division. Think about who oddly supports Donald Trump. Since he doesn't like the powerful nature of Comcast NBCU. Well, more liberal, left-leaning staffers in the antitrust department, and also more liberal, left-leaning judges in the D.C. Court of Appeals, who will be listening to the AT&T Time Warner argument, and may see a case that they may bring eventually see a case they may bring against Comcast NBC over similar type of antitrust stuff. I'm telling you, I can't stress this more. The president may hate you and have a visceral hatred for you, but if you're Comcast, you have tremendous skepticism in the staff level about your business model, and now those staffers are supported by the guy up top. I'm telling you, Comcast has something to worry about here. This is no joke. The staffers, a lot of them are holdovers, career staffers in antitrust. They don't look at the world in Adam Smith eyes necessarily.
I know apples and oranges, but for Time Warner and AT&T and the battle back and forth to keep it going or drop it, does it have any implications?
Yeah, it does. And by the way, it's not apples and oranges. There are two vertically integrated mega media companies right now. It's AT&T Time Warner, which we know the Trump administration hates them, and we know that the staff doesn't like the business model, and it's Comcast NBC. And that's why I think there's more than a theoretical possibility that you're going to see some sort of legal action, whether it's an investigation or whatever, still on Comcast NBC. It's the staff there does not like them. They're telling people this. And I can't tell you they're definitely going to issue a CID on them and open something up on whether they've done the right thing with Hulu. But by the way, there's a million different conditions that were on that. They were not supposed to be meddling directly in Hulu, by the way, which was, as you know, that sort of over-the-top service that was owned by a lot of different. It was run by them, but others. I think we were involved as well for it.
They didn't stick to what they promised.
Yes, and I'm telling you, this is more than theoretical. They have something to worry about, and if the guy at the top hates you and the staff hates you, well, think about Malcolm Delarim, who is the antitrust chief.
Right.
He can appease his staffers who want a case, and his boss up top. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's in a no-lose situation investigating Comcast NBCU.
It's not a good environment if your boss and everyone you work with hates you. But look, you've thrived.
Well, I mean, that's because I love being hated. By the way, did you see the hate? I put up a selfie of my 3.5-pack.
Yes.
And I got such hatred.
Well, we had a down moment, and I asked the staff just to send it.
Send it to who? To whom?
It was very good. It was very good. Yeah, I like the way you handle that, though.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's I love people.
You are.
I'm a people person.
Yeah, that's.
I'm a people. I'm very warm. You know who's the only person that's not as nice as I am is my lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Tony Soprano. All right.